Blair.
Hey, everybody! Can you hear me in the back row? No? Really? All right. My name is Blair, and most of you know me from the film world. But how many of you knew that I was an animal lover as a child? Yay! One person. Two. Is anybody else gonna come? Is that it? 20 people. All right. When I was a child, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I worked in the film business to save my money to go to school. So cut to years later, look at that dog. You, and you, and you. Oh, aren't you beautiful? And you, and you. By the time I hit 20 years old, I said, what about me? What about my dreams? So I ended up getting involved with a lot of the big rescue groups in America. Not rescue, the big foundations that do all the animal charities. And one day I said, wait a minute. I don't believe America's hard-earned dollars and given in donations are accomplishing the needs of America. See? Supporting. Yeah, that's true. Not getting the needs met. Where is that squeaky dog coming from? So I started the Linda Blair World Heart Foundation for animal and human welfare. It all started originally talking about health issues for people, food, the environment, cause and effect. How? That's hard to keep, that's really hard to compete with. I looked at America and I said, okay, what's happening? We are farming animals and using up water and precious food that could be given to people. And then I look over here and I say, wait a minute. We're breeding and breeding animals, but there's not going to be enough space. So again, cause and effect. Certain things that you put out into the world, if we don't make changes, the world cannot support this many animals or this many people unless we think vegetarian, unless we think how we can make the planet self-supporting. And with that, we need the human hand. We need to help. I work with a lot of the great agencies around the world trying to make a better place for the future of you that have children and their children. But in the meantime, right here in front of us are animals. And the pet overpopulation has become an all-time crisis. I started rescuing in 1997. I run one of the largest animal dog rescues, and now a few cats, in California. It's a 100-dog license, and we have about 125 animals in the foundation. When I first started, it was mostly, I turned around and I saw Labradors and I saw poodles in the shelters, and I'm like, why is this happening? It shouldn't be. Now, everyone knows the pit bull became the #1 target. When the first pit bull followed me home, I just gotten back from doing Grease on Broadway. And there was a dog here earlier that looked like this dog, almost a Mastiff, brindle. And I see this dog following me home, and I'm like, oh, hell no. So I'm like, come on, I'm walking my dog, come on. And when the dog entered my property, I turned and realized that Eeyore, which is what he looked like to me, was of no threat to me, therefore I was being lied to. Oh, right. They lied about who I was as a child. Everybody thought it was the devil, admit it. Come on, shake your head, you did it. See, you did it. But I realized that it had now crossed over to an animal. And that is why I became one of the biggest pit bull rescuers and supporters early on. I was there when I used to go on the news and sports channels and so on and talk about that pit bull should not be banned. It was never the dog or the breed, it was always the person. And I explained what dog fighting was. And I have a poster over at my table where I'm standing very strong with my dog Riley. And everybody on the radio and TV would say, "Oh, Linda, you can't be telling the truth." Now I was talking about what you all found out about Michael Vick. And nobody wanted to hear it. And I said, everyone loses. People lose their pets as bait dogs. These are thieves, these are convicts, they're criminals. If you want to change America, you need to stop dog fighting. Well, finally, Michael Vick was arrested, as everyone knows. Now everybody says to me, this is the poster, they say, "Oh, Linda, you must be very upset." I said, I've been upset for a long time, and no, I needed Michael Vick, because you all would not believe me. I've never told a lie, and I don't plan to start now. The truth is larger than life and worse than people can imagine. Look at you beautiful dogs. Oh, look at you marching along. And you're marching right along too. So, I was like many people. I had so-called pets, traveled, made all the movies you all love, or don't. I traveled around the world, America. And when I started rescuing, I put the same love into all the animals as if they were all mine. My friends, my pets, my companions. It doesn't matter to me if it's large or small. It doesn't matter to me, really, what the animal and the species. I love and respect all life. But I have an absolute passion to stop the madness, and that's where the dogs and cats come in. If we do not do mandatory spay and neuter across America, that's all I can do is work on America, one step at a time. I've traveled to Australia, Sweden, England, and I've been videotaping for years, and maybe one day I'll put together a documentary on what I've seen in 15, 20 years. If we don't do that, the only loser is the animal, and they're what we call born to die. And there is no excuse. I just wrote, there's an article over at my table, and the last thing it says, Los Angeles is the city of angels. Come on. We can do better. We have to do their work. And we must do their work. Why should any dog in here not have the right to live? They're all your best friends, your companions. Without them, what would you all be doing? Your hearts would be lost. They're here as angels on earth, and I truly, truly believe that. I don't care if it's a cat, a dog, a pig. We had pigs. I used to have a pig. I love pigs. But dogs and cats are allowed in society. They're allowed in your homes. Not all farm animals that some of us love are. If we don't take the time now to manage what is going on, I don't think I can stop the madness and the killing that will continue, and it doesn't need to. I'm looking around and I see small, medium, large, breeds I recognize, breeds I don't, one-legged, three-legged, dancing, puppies, old dogs. What do I see in common? Love. You people came to this building with love. You wanted to do something, and I share that with you. A lot of the big groups that are in America said to me years ago when I got so involved in rescue and sort of came off the circuit of talking, they said, we don't have a spokesperson. There's nobody out there talking. I have to ask you, did anybody listen to Bob Barker? Every day he had television, the biggest, most expensive form of communication, and every day he asked America to spay and neuter their pets. Did they? No. So I'm not really sure what it is that's going to get into people's minds. How, with all the mass media, all the electronic media, nobody's paying attention. But what's starting to happen is that more people are noticing, wait a minute, pit bulls aren't bad. Wait a minute, maybe the news media is lying to me. Wait a minute, maybe I should step up and lend a helping hand to someone in need. A dog, a cat, an animal in need. And I thank you for that. I've been doing this a long time, and I think it's going to take a very long time to get this issue solved. In a couple of weeks, I will be in Baltimore at the Baltimore Humane Society. It's a black tie event. They're honoring me. Now, why do I bring it up? Because we want the politicians, one at a time. Baltimore did a breed ban 2 years ago. So they rounded up everybody's dogs and they killed them. We have to stop this. How would you like it? Because it goes from pit bull to shepherd to Doberman. There is no breed that will be caught off limits if a politician is allowed to get their hands on these bills. Why are people losing their houses? Why are people not allowed to keep their pets? The insurance companies have been allowed to step in and tell you what you can and cannot have. That is what is happening in America. I fought it as hard as I could, and the best I could do was it's called the Dangerous Dog Act. So they're not going to ban the dog, but they'll have the right to tell you whether you can have it or not, whether they think your dog is dangerous. They can come to you and do that. That is what the insurance companies are doing. Nobody wanted to listen to me, but I'm still here and I'm still trying. There is nothing like being given a piece of paper that says, get rid of your dog. And that's your family. It's your friend. I've said to people, I'll sleep in my car before I would do that. The problem is I got 125. I can't end up in a Volkswagen. I have to succeed. We make less at my foundation because people think that I'm rich and famous. And I say famous, yes. Rich, I've given everything away, always did. That's how I was raised, to help another in need. So we are completely charity, non-profit, donation-based. All the work I do is from the heart. I do not charge a dime for what I do, never have. And I won't. I will helm the ship. I will do what I can in America to make a difference. Because I'd love to go back to work and entertain you guys. But in the meantime, my friends dying is not acceptable. I don't care. I see a Chihuahua. You know, I see my pit bull friends. I see the greyhounds. I work with the Greyhound Rescue in New Jersey. And they pull them off the track. I was accepted to take greyhounds from the track. You have to sign a waiver that says that you will never belittle racing. You will never say anything detrimental. I signed it to help save the animals. They're beautiful. And all of them are. I can talk to you for hours about so many things, but that's not what the Pet Expo is about. It is to let you know that I'm here. I would try to answer questions. There isn't really anything I don't know. My field really is more medical. If you remember, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Nutrition, which I'm going to talk about later on in the day, because there is a connection between potato and cancer. I have invested a lot of money, and what I'm finding out to try to reduce the risk of cancer in your pets. Where's it all coming from? In the last 10 years, it's cancer, cancer, cancer. It costs you money, you lose your best friend. I have found alternatives, and I'm working on them, and it's a life extension, and hopefully they won't ever come down with it. But there's many things that you can do, healthy, holistic, that can help you have a healthier pet that is not as medically driven. What's that?
Sorry.
Money. That's right. They want to take your money. What I can tell you people, in case you don't come back, find a vet that you like, shop for your prices, have your emergency vets on hand. Excuse me, if something happens at 3 in the morning, you better know where you're going to take the dog or cat, and they don't say $3,000 please, because that's what's going to happen. And I'm trying to help people as much as I can. My booth is over there. I'm going to tell you, like us on Facebook. Join us on the Linda Blair World Heart Foundation, the website. There are a couple ways. I'm going to ask if you want to ask me any questions, but I just want to come over here. Do you like my t-shirt? Can you see it? It's animals, dogs. Yeah. These are my a lot of the rescues I have. And I took the pictures, but Jen put them on water sporting activities. And I came up with, it's okay to dream. And it is okay to dream of a better world, a better place. And it's okay to dream that the shelters won't have to exist, and that all animals that are in compromised positions of being abused, chained up, all the things we're trying to stop, that it's okay to dream of them having a better life. And that's what this is about. And you can come to our booth. They're available. It's an online auction, so you have to go home. It's an online purchase. So you go home, every dime goes to Linda Blair World Heart Foundation. It's cute. What else you got? These are the shirts that are here today. Yay! And what's this one? And the men's, wee! As the little piggy said. So everything is available. Going vegan, this is how it all began, and then the environment, and I got involved in rescue. So everything's in here. I will autograph everything. And, oh, baseball caps. So these are the ways to show your support. It always makes people smile. Linda Blair, isn't she the one that spins her head around? And you say yes, and she loves animals and wants us to help her to change the world. And that's what I'm trying to do. So let me ask, does anybody want to ask a question? About anything, don't matter. Oh, it's Rick Springfield's #1 fan. She asked the best way to treat arthritis in senior dogs. Like people, it's really hard. Diet has a lot to do with it, but if you don't start at 10 years old, how am I going to make an accomplishment at 13? I rescue dogs that are seniors, and it's like, I do use coconut oil, apple cider vinegar. Who, when we grew up, remembers apple cider vinegar? Bragg's apple cider vinegar. They have a lot of products. It's really old company. Bragg's apple cider vinegar, coconut oil. Coconut oil is really good for skin. When you open it, tell me you don't smell the first sunscreen, suntan oil you ever smelled in your life. And you realize they went from natural products to chemicals. And that's what everybody's trying to get back again because we made the planet so toxic. It's a beautiful dog. So I have one more little thing I want to show you. And of course, everybody uses the glucosamine chondroitin. But it's almost, you know what I mean? Do what you can. Is Mo around? Does anybody want to hear a cute story? Is Mo around? So, huh? What? Starch and sugar, fungus, feeds off the sugar. She asked the connection between potato and cancer. Potato is a starch, the reason you need to stop eating sugar is that fungus feeds off of sugar and cancer feeds off of fungus. And this is all the work that I'm learning and doing. This is people, and I am so decreasing my sugar. Like I do raw, and I'm even starting to do this. When I went and met with my Asian friend who takes care of the dogs, I'll bring them, you know, like they'll have fungus or things, and I'm like, eh. So he's got me trained. But I asked him, and he said, I brought him a treat, some vegan treats. And he said, I don't eat that. And I'm like, why? It's vegan, it's good. He said, nuh-uh. He said, it's cancer. What it is sugar, we do not digest it. Everybody has fungus in their body, but the fungus will rush out there and triple and double with the sugar, and it eats the sugar, and then the cancer has more to feed off of. I am so doing this with between processed and breads and things. I eat as holistically or naturally as possible. There's plenty of food, they tell you. Fruits, vegetables. I do a grain bread, of course. There's many, many things. Of course, I have soy, but that's why the connection is so. I'm sponsored by Natural Balance, and God bless them. But I've just tried to move off of the potato products. It's 50-50. Right now, I'm just backing off of all of it. I know. Yeah, for people, you can have a potato. I mean, what? It's not every day, you know. Okay, so here's my cute story. In California, my veterinarian calls me and says, I have a black shepherd here, can you help him out? And I said, what? So anyway, I go down there and this black shepherd is there. Well, the black shepherd's name was Mo. They knew what his name was. An old man had gotten him out of the shelter, and the wife would not let Mo in the house. So Mo said, fine, I'm leaving. Not once, not twice. Third time, our shelters will not let you have your dog back. So Mo ended up at the vet's office. Somebody went and picked him up for the man, but he couldn't keep him. So I have Mo. And I have a second big black shepherd. But I'm not getting customers for big black shepherds. I'm getting customers for pit bulls, little dogs, shepherds. So lo and behold, a very good trainer friend of mine calls and says, I have a new person to come out and train using my dogs. And I'm like, great, no problem. After all was said and done, I got the most beautiful letter that said, I know that you don't normally do adoptions out of state, but I fell in love with Mo. And you're like, Mo! And Martina wrote me this beautiful letter. And I don't ship out of state. But in this case, it was like a love affair. And we collected our donations and got everything ready. And I got Mo all ready. And Mo now lives in Tampa, Florida. And I told him I'd come to see him again. Martina, would you bring out your best friend, Mo? This is Mo. I'm Mo. Hi, people. My name is Mo, and I prefer Tampa, Florida to California. So I wanted you to see, it doesn't matter, again, if it's a Chihuahua, a Shepherd, Pit Bulls. I saw Beethoven, St. Bernard. They're all in trouble. There's nothing that is not in trouble right now. Yeah, affirmation on that. So this is Momo. And we ask you anything that you can do. Join me in our efforts, because if you like us on Facebook, you tell your friends, you love your pets, the word will spread. But there is no other voice. The voices that are out there on the larger level that are competing with and trying to get through to the politics of America, it's become very clear to me, if I don't continue the journey, the animals don't have a chance. If I do continue, then they do have a chance. Are we good? So I'll be back in a little while to talk about some other things. In the meantime, please do donate, enjoy the events. There are many dogs up for adoption. Tell your friends. They're volunteers. I'm a volunteer. We break, our backs to make a difference. You've got vendors. They give percentage to rescues. You've got Beagle Rescue, Pit Bull Rescues, the Pit Bull Kissing Booth. You've got the Boston Terrier Kissing Booth. Birds, veterinarians, you got everything. Make your way around. Enjoy your day. God bless you all. Thanks for coming to the Tampa Pet Expo. And thank you. The hat looks awesome.